name is Simona. This has been a very, very amazing experience in every level. Sleep, very few hours, but very deep. Something has happened, I don't know what, but there has been a physical change in me, and I think it's positive.
There's, you feel there's something deep, something, this effulgic, so to borrow your word, that experience, that divine, that bright experience. It's awesome. Like somebody said, as soon as you finish the chanting, and that experience you have of that stillness, or maybe sometimes I feel these vibrations, because they're with you. They're with you all the time.
My name is Chandra.
Mantras have always fascinated me since childhood, because I never understood the meaning, but still they made me feel good. So I used to wonder how can that happen, that you don't understand but still you feel good. That's not the normal case, except in case of mantras. So that was the fascinating part, and hence whenever I used to be in the pujas and homas, and even when elders in the family used to chant mantras, I used to like it, but and enjoy it, but I always used to, there was some vacuum as to, I used to feel a little let down, that I don't understand what it is. So it's great that in this Christmas Sastry Ji has come as a Santa Claus and given this gift to us of the meaning of the mantras. In fact, most of these mantras in our family, either we used to chant or somebody used to chant, but the meaning was never clear to me. It's the first time that I realized that the feelings go with the meanings, and that has filled that gap which was there for such a long time. So, and in a way, I also felt this was like an extension of the Guru Puja course, which I loved so much. When we did Guru Puja, we really understood how to express the inexpressible, because that's what happens with the divine. You don't know how to express what you want to. How do you say thank you to the divine? The words are so shallow. But these mantras have the depth to express that feeling. And that's what I came to know through the meanings. So it's filled a big gap which was there so far. Thank you.
Yeah, and I will show my gratitude to Sastry Ji by singing shloka. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah.
Maybe difficult to understand me a bit, but what I learned from this course is enormous. I started in college the Sanskrit days. I used to repeat the shabdas. There was a teacher and we used to repeat very often what I've been always repeating but never understanding. What this course gave me is the understanding part of it. I have so much to thank everyone, and especially Guruji, for coming and giving us the knowledge. It is very, very rare for a person to share knowledge. They can share what they have, but knowledge is so important, it's so uplifting to everyone. I can only say that I have been blessed coming into this course. I have learned a lot. Thank you.
I enjoyed this course very much. I learned a lot. Most of the mantras, my parents and grandparents, they would chant, and I would chant when I was young. But this course has really opened up, Sastry Ji, he broke every word down and then he gave the meaning, and he, once you know the meaning and the proper pronunciation, then I realized, I learned all those things, and I realized how important they are, and I really, really thank Sastry Ji from the bottom of my heart for coming all the way from Canada.
My name is Romy and I am from South Brunswick. This course actually came like a Christmas gift for me. Unlike many of you, I have not actually been brought up in an environment where mantras are like day-to-day chanting or awareness of mantras there. However, ever since we've been coming to satsangs and coming to pujas, somehow, being in that environment, the mantras, even though I did not understand them, but as they say, just being in the presence of mantras being chanted, it would make a lot of difference. And I could feel that difference. And I was very intrigued. I wanted to, get to know more and become more aware of it. Maybe to put it this way, I wanted to be more connected. And when I was at the ashram at Thanksgiving, and when I heard that there was going to be a course for mantra sadhana, I was very thrilled. And as soon as it was announced, I immediately registered. And I'm so grateful. that first of all, I thoroughly enjoyed this like any course. It was very, very, I would say, very, very well conducted. And the repetitions were very enjoyable. The way things rhyme, the meanings of the words, suddenly there's a lot of connection that's coming through from one mantra chant to another mantra chant. And just feel like there's an increased awareness and connection. And I really enjoyed with you all the sounds and being here. And I'm so grateful for Sastry Ji to come here and introduce a new course into our family of courses, let's put it this way. And thank you.
Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Aap kaise hain? Maybe my few words, but for me this course has been many things. I would say I think of fulfillment. At least over 20 years ago when I was a young person, I started to research the Sanskrit language because I was studying linguistics at the time. It was my first graduate work. And so I thought that maybe I wanted this doctorate in the Hindu Sanskrit languages because they had influenced the English language, and I was getting all this training. And then finally I fell away from that, and I thought, and then there's something. I obviously have not been brought up or in this tradition, at least not in this birth, but there is something very universal about these things we call mantras. There is something sacred about them. I read about them. I've heard people say them. And the very first time I walked into, maybe 15 years ago, I walked into a Hindu center. People were saying them, they were chanting. I didn't know what they were talking about. They were singing. I still couldn't carry the tune. And I thought, but there was something very peaceful there. But I thought, well, maybe that's not for me. It's not my culture in this life. And I thought, it's not for me. And so then when I moved to Richmond, Virginia, I'm sorry, my name is Denise Ricks. I'm sorry. And I'm an art of living teacher from Richmond, Virginia. I'm sorry. And then 9 years ago, I moved to Richmond. And then I started attending the Hindu center there. And they were saying these beautiful mantras and chanting. And I would feel peaceful and I would feel good. But I just thought, well, maybe one day, someday, I would have this opportunity to learn more about this language called Sanskrit that influenced so many languages. It's universal. I read about it. And then, so the course for me was a fulfillment of that. When, honestly, when I saw it, this was my first week of my Christmas vacation. I have 2 weeks off. And normally this is the time for me to sit around and do things and meet people, organize. And I saw it first, and there was something inside of me, the very depths of my soul, and I said, mantra chanting? I said, maybe I didn't read it right. So the first thing I did was call the organizer, and the organizer told me, and I said, maybe I didn't read it right. And he said, no, you read it right. And so I said, Sanskrit, mantra, real mantras? He's like, yeah, real mantras and so on. And I thought, so at that point, everything worked out. I got here and everything. And for the past 5 days, I have been getting up, chanting, and what it's done for me, it's the vibrations. And it's helped me with my sadhana even more. It makes me go deeper with my sadhana. I felt like when I got up, before I did my breathing here, the first thing was apavitra, pavitrova. I did that. And then I did the prayer to Lakshmi, the kara, the hands. And the meaning, the deep meaning was really explained. The deep meaning. But it was, I may not remember Sanskrit in this life, but perhaps my soul remembers it. So for me, it was a fulfillment. I know that I have to go on and take more training in this. And I like languages. That's what was my first graduate hours. And, but for me, it's just a transformation. I had a lot of thoughts, a lot of feelings that were just emotions, a lot of them. And when I would get up in the morning, just that consciousness would just focus just by the chanting. And I'm continuing to feel even more positive, spacey maybe, but for me, I just love it. And more importantly, I just wanted to say thank you for everybody here. Ji, how much more I can thank you for all that you've done in the transformation. I know the grace comes from the Guru. I realize that. And it's the Guru's grace. And maybe saying the Guru's grace, and he listens, and you came. You answered the